what's up? Today I want to share with you a recipe for baked Greek Yiouvarlakia in the oven with roasted potatoes. All done in one pan. Very easy to do, super delicious, and it's going to be a hit with everybody. So first things first, preheat our oven 400 degrees Fahrenheit or about 200 degrees Celsius. Get that off and going, and that way it's one less thing to worry about. The next thing is our potatoes. Here I've got some pre-peeled potatoes in water, maybe a couple pounds or so. The important thing here though is that the size of your potatoes is fairly similar, so they all cook the same way. Nothing worse than getting, a potato that's really overdone on one end because it's smaller and kind of really tough in the middle in the other side of the pan. All right, and that's my last potato there. They're a nice even layer. Now time to start seasoning them up. So I'm going to take some salt on there, a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper, goes fantastic with these. I'm going to do a little bit of oregano. I love the way oregano goes on potatoes, and that's perfect. You can use oregano, you can use rosemary, whatever you like, totally works. Whatever herb you like will work. I'm going to drizzle also with a little bit of olive oil, just to kind of get everything lubed up and ready to go. And just give these a quick toss. Just nothing complicated, nothing fancy. And that's perfect, just like that, and put them on a nice even layer. This recipe now, what will happen is the juices of our Yiouvarlakia are gonna go on top and kind of flavor everything. So let me just move this here. Now, here I've got about a pound and a half of ground beef. This is the base of our Yiouvarlakia. For this, I'm gonna add approximately 1 cup of rice. So you're looking at about 1 cup of rice per pound of Yiouvarlakia. And that's the basic blend, if you will. Now it's time to flavor these up in terms of what we're gonna do. And for my flavorings, I'm gonna use the help of my Mini-Me food processor. I love this thing, I'd be lost without it, and that's no joke. So just put your onion in there. Like, you can chop this as well by hand if you like, no problem at all. Next thing, I'm gonna take a bunch of parsley. This parsley, if it were any fresher, would still be growing basically. This is from my garden, and I'm a huge believer of farm to table, absolutely. I'm gonna take a little bit of my extra virgin olive oil, maybe a couple tablespoons in there, kind of lube everything up. The next thing is a little bit of garlic is going to go in there. Maybe a couple cloves, just to get that background flavor of it. Love garlic. Go in there. Half a chili. Again, I want a little bit of heat. I want that hum. I just don't want to feel like my butt bursts into flames. That's just not a good thing. Some salt will go in there. A little bit of pepper will go in there as well. And just give this a quick whiz. All right, that's perfect right there. Looking really, really good. I'm gonna take this mixture now, and I'm just gonna put it over my ground beef and rice. And this recipe is really coming along now. Let me just leave that there. So all we're gonna do is real quick, just combine everything with your hands. You don't have to overmix, just make sure your rice and your herbs and your flavorings are all incorporated. This is gonna be fantastic. I love meals like this. Other than this mixing bowl for the ground beef or the Yiouvarlakia, it's basically a one-pot meal. Typically, this recipe as well is made, or the Yiouvarlakia are made with that Greek lemon and egg sauce, avgolemono. So I thought I'd just change it up a little bit and make something a little more interesting. Now, to make things a little more even, I'm using the help of an ice cream scoop. And I'm just gonna form them into kind of little balls and just place them on top of the potatoes real quick. It doesn't take long at all, and just do this pretty fast. The name of the game with the ice cream scoop is to get our Yiouvarlakia all the same size so they cook evenly as well. Going back to the potato thing, where you want your potatoes to be the same size so they cook evenly. That's perfect. And moving along there. And you're just going to form it into little balls. Oh, here. The next trick I'm going to show you here is just wet your hands a little bit when you're forming these, and that way you won't have the Yiouvarlakia sticking to your hands, the ground beef. Do this real quick. And you're going to put these in just like an even layer over your potatoes. All right, and this is the last of my Yiouvarlakia going in here. I'm just going to wash my hands real quick and we'll carry on. The next thing as we move along is a little bit of crushed tomatoes or passata. And I'm just going to put these over my Yiouvarlakia just like that. Make sure they go everywhere. There's going to be like a nice flavor base and a different zing to this. I'm also going to do about a cup of water. We still need our rice to cook off and do its thing. So that's going to go in there. And it may seem like it's a lot of water, but it's not. Believe me, the rice will absorb this. Now, in terms of flavoring this up, because nobody wants a bland sauce, you're going to take a little more salt. You're going to take a little pepper, just loosely over that. I'm going to drizzle a little more olive oil over this, just like that, maybe a couple tablespoons. The kicker to this is going to be a little of my dried Greek oregano over everything, just like that. And one more little thing. Cumin. I'm going to take a very, very small amount of cumin. Like, it's not even like 1/8 of a teaspoon. It's like basically just a kiss. And this is going to not overpower the flavor, but you're going to kind of bite into this and you're going to be thinking, what is that in the background? It's not cinnamon really, because cinnamon's really popular in like Greek sauces, but it's something else. So that's going to give it a certain hardiness. And lastly, before I throw this into the oven, I'm going to cover it up. This has got to go covered for about, measure this out just like that so we don't get too much. I always have an issue with like foil paper. So I'm just going to cover this up just like that. Now what I want to do is I want to keep the moisture in. I'm cooking my rice and I don't want the moisture to escape, and I want everything to kind of cook down. So now this is going to go into our 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes, after which you're going to remove the cover, take off the aluminum foil, and continue cooking it until you get a really nice color and you get a little bit of browning, and you will be good to go. So overall cooking time, you're looking approximately an hour to an hour and 15 minutes at 400 degrees, give or take. So here comes my favorite part. The Yiouvarlakia and the potatoes have been out of the oven now for about 15 minutes, so they're not exactly molten hot, but they're still pretty hot. They are done to absolute perfection. Full disclosure, I did have to empty out some of the liquid in this when After about 45 minutes or so, when I took the covering off. If you find that it happens to you as well, feel free to totally remove the excess liquid from this. My Yiouvarlakia are done to perfection. The rice is completely cooked. My potatoes are literally fork tender. So you guys know what happens next. Oh, it smells insane in here. The aroma that is wafting through my kitchen is absolutely crazy. Wow. Where do I start? Let me just take, oh, look at this. Like the potato is literally, it's crispy on the outside and it's almost like a baked potato on the inside. It's got that kind of a texture. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh my God. It's going to be fun. Heaven. The tomato sauce with the oregano and just that whisper of the cumin is fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. Let me dig into a little corner Yiouvarlakia here. And look at this. It's all done perfect. The rice, the parsley, the onion. It's wow. This is the one. I can't tell you, my friends, how happy I am right now. Honest to goodness, it's so delicious and really not that hard to make at all. You put everything together. Prep time is about 15-20 minutes. Cook time, in this case, took a little over an hour, about an hour and 5, an hour and 10 minutes from start to finish. And you have a beautiful dinner for at least 4 people, possibly 6, 4 Greeks. And in no time, you're having a blast. So that's it for this episode today on my Yiouvarlakia with potatoes in the oven with a nice light tomato sauce. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a blast making it. I thank you for your time in watching this. For more recipes like this and this one, check me out online as well at kensgreektable.com. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. I thank you so much. Bye for now.